Prior to participating in these workshops, I felt like I lacked the necessary knowledge to be an asset in international education. These workshops showed me that I am of value and that I am competent.
Again, I had an opportunity to reflect on how I deliver content and be more mindful of including the different learning styles in my presentations and teaching.
Yeah, I do appreciate NAFSA actually actively can tell that you're trying very different things to make sure all the participants are happy.
Not only do I get to meet people from around the United States and make new connections, but I also always remind myself of some tiny piece of regulation, or I get inspired by an idea that a participant or a co-trainer has. And so while I train the workshops and I'm presenting the information, I always end up walking away with something new to bring back to my office.
A much deeper understanding of how other institutions are handling a lot of these concerns, as well as individuals that I now have a relationship with that I can call on to be able to say, hey, I have this question on my campus, or we're dealing with this. What are you doing? So
it was a venue for professional development and growth. I think it gave me also more confidence as a professional, and a lot of the things that I learned through co-presenting this workshop is something that I brought back into my presentation for my own universities.
I was able to have a deeper connection with presenters. I would sometimes feel intimidated by attending these workshops in person due to the environment of not only meeting the presenters or the trainers for the first time, but also being in a room filled with strangers in a city I've never been to.
I think what surprised me, and maybe it shouldn't have surprised me, is that I think I was better able to connect with people in a virtual environment, but I find it easier to kind of reach out, offer help, and ask for advice in a virtual environment.
So I was really surprised how meaningful the breakout sessions were, how well I got to know some of the practitioners, and I had a follow-up call with one of them to exchange some more information.
Number one, greater access. If you think about the way that we typically do NAFSA workshops, they're either tied to the national conference, or they're tied to a regional conference, or they're tied to a custom workshop that's designed and delivered for a specific organization or entity. But the online workshops mean that people from all across the United States, as well as from countries across the globe, can participate. And so the value for me is it gives people not only the ability to network, but to network with a much more diverse group of individuals than they would normally network with at an in-person NAFSA workshop.
That you can reach many more participants. And so people that may not have the funds, or sometimes even they may be lacking time to be able to take off and travel and go to the location of where the workshop is provided, that truly allows for them to participate from their own home or their own offices